alive! It's alive! It's alive!
I want to play a game.
Hello and welcome to the Sounds from the Grave podcast. My name is Yussef.
And my name is Vania.
And like he had for thousands of years, Krampus came not to reward, but to punish. Not to give, but to take.
So, guys, happy Krampusnacht, or late Krampusnacht. Merry Christmas, Krampusnacht? Grosvallen Krampus. Anyway, hi guys. So we're finally covering our little segment on our Christmas series, the horror Christmas series kind of thing. We are finally covering Krampus, which is one of my favorite horror Christmas movies of all time now, and also in lore as well. So we are going to be talking about that. So yeah,
it's gonna be fun. Like we said in our last episode for Black Christmas, we were gonna do Krampus first to coincide with Krampusnacht. But because of my stupid shit, because I didn't get the Blu-ray on time and there was no other way to stream it, we had to push the episode back. But oh well, we're doing it now. Oh yeah, and I'm excited to talk about this one. This one's such a fun Christmas horror movie.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It's interesting because the first time that this movie came out, I mean, it looked interesting. It was in theaters, and I didn't know of Krampus until obviously the movie came out. So I thought it was like a Christmas horror film.
Mm-hmm.
That it was like kind of like a horror comedy kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it was kind of hard for me to take it seriously. But the more you watch the movie, you realize it is sort of like a comedy, but it's also like has a very serious message, and of course relating to the war and all that stuff. And then I got to learn Krampus and became unhelpingly obsessed. But it is what it is.
Yeah, it's funny because it's kind of like a Christmas horror comedy fantasy movie because it's got like a little bit of everything in there.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen Krampus in a while. I hadn't seen it in like 2 years now.
Oh, wow.
And watching it now, I was like, damn, I really fucking missed out on the Halloween Horror Nights house because this would have been such a fun house to walk through.
Yeah, in regards of the Halloween Horror Nights house, like, my second run through was a lot better. But like my first run through, I heard that they had a lot of like costume malfunctions, like a lot of like the dwarves. Like they couldn't like fit into their costumes, or they couldn't move all that well. And of course the really big what's it called? Like the little Jack in the Box worm. Yeah, he was also not functioning too well, and all their costumes were really heavy. So yeah, it kind of sucked for the scare actors that year. But so it was kind of hard because you didn't get all the scares all the time because there was always like some costume malfunction. But like my second run through was a lot better, and I actually got to experience the house to its fullest. And one of my favorite things about that house, now that I don't know if you'll ever have the chance to experience it unless Howling Horror Nights brings it back high, was when they had like the house and then you saw like a little statue of like Krampus on the top and you saw him just hanging out. It was really cool. It was obviously a mannequin, but yeah.
So that's pretty cool. That little addition to it is fun.
Yeah, while you're like walking through the house. I don't know if it was I don't remember it all that well because this is before I started to become a frequent flyer pass holder thing, but I only went twice because they were giving people free tickets after the hurricane kind of thing, Hurricane Matthew. So yeah, I got to experience it twice and it was cool.
Nice.
But yeah, so this is obviously Universal's. Well, Krampus as a whole, it does not belong to Universal, but the movie does belong to Universal, which is one of the more proper tellings of this lore, this Austrian and German lore. Yes,
yeah,
Austrian German lore. And they finally did a movie because there's other Krampus movies out there, but they're not as good, or you only see them for like 5 minutes, and then it's kind of gross.
Yeah, I've seen like all over Netflix and like Hulu and all that. So there's like Krampus Nightmare, Krampus Unleashed, and like just everything Krampus. And I'm like, I don't know about these. These all look like kind of meh.
seen some of them. They're not that great. They're
Oops.
but yeah. But Universal did the good thing of releasing a 2015 movie, which was good. You know. Anyways, but before we get into the movie, I would kind of like to talk a little bit about the lore if you guys don't know about Krampus, because I'm like obsessed. But
Yeah.
I did try to explain the lore to somebody else at a festival, and that didn't go very well because the guy left very confused. So I'm going to be reading a summary off, and so you guys have a better idea of what Krampus is,
Yeah, because
or what he is.
Because for those of you that don't know, Vania is our resident Krampus expert. I mean, during Christmas time, or during holidays, her Twitter handle changes to Krampus Cultus. So that's how you guys know that she takes Krampus seriously.
I do. It makes me wish that I was born German or Austrian. It's just like, yo, I would have been appreciating the fuck out of this holiday, and plus, like, there a lot of festivities that I went through were really cool. Like, I went to a German restaurant, and then they had like Krampus specials, and then they had a Krampus walk. And there were people dressed up as Krampus, and it was really freaking cool. And I felt like it was at a German restaurant, like an authentic German restaurant. Problem about that restaurant is that the food takes forever to get to you, but once you get it, yo, the schnitzel and this, feel like I'm butchering these names, Batzel something. They're all so fire. Like, it's so good, especially like German beer, because Germans like to mix their beer with like a juice or like orange juice, and it's like the greatest thing ever. I love it. I was like,
Yeah,
Germans
the
are so cool.
closest I've had to that is that grapefruit beer that they have at Epcot at Disney.
Oh yeah, I'm planning on going too.
I absolutely love that beer. Like, when I found out that they sold that thing at Publix, I was like, hell yeah, buy that shit in bulk.
Oh man, you need to tell me because I haven't had it at Epcot yet. I'm planning on going to Epcot next week. So hopefully,
yeah, definitely get your hands on some. It's called Schoferhofer.
Schoferhofer. Okay, I will definitely
Totally worth it. Oh yeah.
Ask you about that after the podcast. Anyway, so a little bit of on Krampus is that Krampus is Central European popular legend, a half goat, half demon monster that punishes misbehaving children at Christmas time, more preferably in December 5th, just to like clear out the map. So I'm like, hey, I just grabbed all the bad children. Santa Claus, do your thing. Grab all the good children afterwards. So he kind of collects them like around December 5th. So everything that's left is like good children. He is the devilish companion of Saint Nicholas. Krampus is believed to have originated in Germany, and his name derives from the German word Krampen, which means claw. So Krampus thought to have been a part of their pagan rituals for winter solstice, and according to legend, he is the son of Hel, the Norse god of the underworld.
Interesting. It's pretty cool.
Really, really cool little. There's a lot of Norse. I feel like a lot of Norse mythology is just cool in general.
Oh yeah,
and I feel like I need to get into it more because all these things from like Europe are like all derived or some spawn of some other god, and it's like the coolest thing ever. I need to get into that. My best friend Karina is really into Norse mythology, so I really need to ask her about that. So, with the spread of Christianity, Krampus came associated with Christmas, despite the efforts by the Catholic Church to ban the idea of him or him in general. And the creature and St. Nicholas are said to arrive on the evening of December 5th, just like I was saying, Krampusnacht or Krampus night. While St. Nicholas rewards the nice children by leaving presents, Krampus beats those who are naughty with branches and sticks. And in some cases, he is said to eat them or take them to hell. And on December 6th, St. Nicholas Day, children are awakened to their gifts and or nurse their injuries. Oh, that's kind of cute. But yeah.
It's like, Mom, where are the Band-Aids?
Where are the Band-Aids? Oh, I've been healed. I can see.
Krampus came and beat the shit out of me last night. Kids poor kid's just covered in like scratches and bruises. He's like, fucking Krampus, man, you just beat the shit out of me. I done fucked up.
I'm sorry, I'll do the laundry next time.
Krampus will mess around, man.
that is basically a little bit on Krampus, on how he works and all that stuff.
It's pretty
Which
cool.
a little bit about like that whole idea of Krampus and Saint Nicholas working together. I like that idea, but I just don't like the fact that Saint Nicholas or Santa Claus rewards children on that day when it's supposed to be on December 25th.
Mm-hmm.
But unless it's different for other cultures, I don't know.
I just love the idea of them working together and just like, like after December 6th, just like knocking back of like a couple of beers and be like, man, that was a fun year. You got some kids like done fucked up this year. That was fun.
He's like, I do what I do best, my guy. Just beat the shit out of with my birches and shit.
Or for like Christmas, he gets him like a really like nice like stack of birches and like reeds and stuff.
Yeah.
Krampus like, you shouldn't have. Can't wait to use these next year.
Yeah, he's like collecting them throughout the year. He's like, this one tastes like cinnamon. What the?
That's for talking back to your mom. Whoopsh. That's for not doing the laundry. Whoopsh. But anyway, enough of that.
This is pretty mean to your brother. Like,
Except one day he'll find that one kid that'd be like, harder, Krampus.
Harder Krampus. like, oh, what a freak. The fuck?
Like, this kid's just like intentionally naughty every year just to get Krampus to go in there.
I feel like that's
like, Krampus, don't you worry, I brought the reed myself. Here you go, have fun.
Yeah.
Go to town.
Go to town. Leave those marks on my skin, Daddy. Make them see who really owns me.
Krampus is like, the fuck? I thought I was twisted, but this is something else, man.
Yeah. But it's funny because with Krampus, he has chains and like kind of like, I forgot what they're called. They sound like cowbells, but they're not. I forgot what they're called. Like you'll know the difference between Santa Claus and Krampus because Santa Claus has the little jingly bells and they sound all nice and sprinkly and shit. And then there's Krampus, which like it's like kind of like a cowbell kind of thing.
God.
So and he's like obnoxiously loud, so you already know when you done fucked up when you hear cowbells and there are no fucking cows outside of your house, you know.
Oh fuck.
It's like, oh fuck. But yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we're ready to like get into the actual Krampus movie now.
Yeah.
But yeah, before we get into it, let's just give you some background. So this movie was directed by Michael Dougherty, who is apparently the master of holiday horror movies because he's also the guy who directed Trick or Treat. So that makes like perfect sense. Especially because like if you watch one right after the other, you'll see a lot of things that are similar between the two movies.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's a lot of cheesy writing for sure.
Oh yeah. Not to mention like even like the one scene where the teddy bear gets shot with the shotgun, he like hits the wall the exact same way Sam does.
Yeah.
Which I thought was hilarious. I was like, oh, it's just Sam as a teddy bear. I just love that because it's just like the way they just fly back and just smack against the wall.
I really liked it. It reminded me of Trick or Treat, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, like this dude he just needs to keep making like holiday horror movies.
And keep doing it because he's actually good at it, not like the other ones.
And finally, legit made Trick or Treat 2 already.
Ugh. But like, was he in charge of? No, I think another company did the comic book because Trick or Treat was a comic book first before it was turned into a movie.
Kind of, because it was Sam's first appearance was actually in a movie that he directed, like an animated movie back in the 90s that he made. And that was like Sam's first official appearance. So that's pretty interesting. So I don't know if like they took that and they were like, we'll write a comic book about this, or the comic book is older than the animated film.
The comic book, because I saw it at Coliseum of Comics, but it costs an arm and a leg. It costs like $50 for, but
Oh,
it's like a really big, bulky ass
oh,
comic
it's
book.
like an omnibus or something like that, like a compendium.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad, but
It looks
yeah,
cool.
50,
I mean,
50's
it's
a little
not
steep.
bad, but it's a book, and it's
Yeah,
like,
50's a little steep.
yeah, I'll pay 20, 30 at most. 50. And even when I have to ask for that person from Santa Claus this year, let me just add it to my Amazon wish list real quick.
The Trick or Treat comic book.
Sure, trick or treat comic book. They're like, what the fuck is this? Feed into my Sam addiction. Anyway,
Anyway,
enough of that. Mhm.
but the movie itself also stars Toni Collette, who is Queen. I mean, Sixth Sense, Hereditary, amazing. Adam Scott, who we mostly know from Parks and Rec. David Koechner, Koechner. I don't know how to.
Kochner, I think it's
Yeah.
Kochner.
But we mostly know him from The Office and the Anchorman movies. And Conchata Farrell, who most people know as I think I remember her name, but she was in Two and a Half Men. She was like the maid or the assistant in Two and a Half Men. Um, and the official synopsis reads: A dysfunctional family is thrown into even more chaos when one of them accidentally unleashes the shadow of Santa Claus, Krampus.
Yep,
So
that's about right.
yeah, so we're gonna kind of going back to that format we've been doing, the newer format we were doing, where we kind of talk about the things we like, things we don't like, um, and mostly just like other things specifically directed to the movie.
Yeah. Favorite kills, final thoughts, anything in between,
Yeah.
conversation, questions,
Oh yeah, for
things
sure.
like that. Scrambles. Anyway. Um, but yeah, let's I guess we should start with the things we liked.
Oh yeah. So
Who's gonna go first, you or me?
I can go first.
Potato,
So
potato,
potato,
tomato,
potato.
tomato.
So the things that I really enjoyed about this movie, I think like the biggest thing that I enjoyed was the actual relationship in the family. Like it felt like a very much real dysfunctional family where like they're like, it's my crazy uncle with his two kids that bully the hell out of me type thing. And also how the family, like the main family, with like Tony Collette and Adam Scott, they're having their a little bit of marital issues because he travels a lot for work and that kind of stuff, so that puts a strain on their relationship. How her and her sister don't really get along with her aunt either. Like it's just like
Yeah,
it feels very much like real family drama. Like it isn't
yeah,
just
it
like
does.
rainbows and it isn't just rainbows and sunshine. It's like real family drama. It's real like reasons as to why they don't like each other, reasons why they love each other, and that kind of stuff.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, like I like that. I like the overall story and concept of it was so much fun too. Just like learning how they describe Krampus in this movie and how Krampus kind of does his thing in this movie is really fun to watch and really interesting. Funny of what I wasn't expecting is Krampus isn't really in the movie that much. Like a lot of it is just his minions.
Yes.
Like I think Krampus is in this
Um.
movie for what, like 15, 20 minutes at the most.
Yeah. I mean, maybe 30. I give it a safe 30 because I feel like you do see him, but like unless you are really counting the shadow scenes too.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah, I want to say 20 to 30, but I could be wrong.
Hmm. Yeah, and I did like the design of the Krampus as well. Like he looked really freaking intimidating. So, with like his hoofs and like the way he walked was really creepy, and just like the Krampus face was creepy as hell. Like that thing was like traumatizing.
I'm going to be talking about that in the other bullet point.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like I really like enjoyed that, and one of the things I really enjoyed too was just this definitely is like a very much a Christmas movie. Like there's the decorating, there's the snow, there's the snowmen, um, like the Christmas dinner and all that kind of stuff is all there. Like it's
Yeah.
very much all the Christmas traditions are there.
And also, like, the fact that there is also, like, a religious person in the family is always, like, that always has, like, a notion of these things is, like, one of the things that I really gotta give it credit for.
Mm-hmm.
There's always someone like that in a family, especially if they're more knowledgeable of a subject, whether it be belief-wise or, whatever. I gotta give it because Omi is, like, one of the not cooler characters I really liked, and like she's like so authentic, and I kind of found it interesting that in some DVD copies it does do the automatic translation, but there's also other copies that they don't actually translate directly what she says.
Mm-hmm. Which I
And
kind of like. I kind of like when they don't. 'Cause
yeah,
it
and
it feels
then
more real that way.
but like the kid sometimes translates, which I guess that's the reason why they don't even bother, I guess, to take up too much
Yeah.
subtitle work, I guess you could say.
I
So
mean, I
yeah.
don't remember there actually being like any subtitle work. It's a lot of the time it's just like she speaks German and like the way they
I
answer
feel like the
her and
first
like
time I did, the first time
mm,
I watched it in theaters, there was some titles of some
gotcha. Because at least like on the copy that I have, it didn't have any subtitles. It was all context clues as to like how the characters reacted to what she said or when Max would translate what she would say and that kind of stuff.
yeah,
Yeah. I also wasn't expecting as much comedy as there is in this movie, which I kind of liked
a
as well.
lot of it.
Like this movie was
Um,
really funny at points. Even like
yeah,
the opening segment is really funny with like all the Black Friday shoppers in slow motion. And it's just like pure, unadulterated chaos, and it's hilarious.
yeah, I really enjoyed that scene. Like every time I watch that movie, everybody thinks I'm watching like some, when I'm watching it in front of family, they're like, "Are we gonna watch a family friendly movie?" I'm like, "Yeah, you could say that." And then you see like all the Black Friday shoppers, and they're all just like running towards like all the sales, and then there's also like the birth of Jesus
Hmm.
reenactment, and then Max is fucking going to town on another kid. I think his sister is recording. I could be
I
wrong.
think so. It's funny
Uh,
because this movie almost feels like Home Alone because everybody like kind of goes after a specific kid in the family, and the poor kid, just feels like he's either bullied or like ostracized, and like that's kind of the same way Kevin felt in Home Alone, where like everybody in his family was just targeting him.
yeah,
Like that's kind of what it felt like at some points, and I like that. I appreciate that.
yeah. With I don't know. There's just the things I did like about this movie. I guess I could talk a little bit more so we can have a little bit more to go over. Like you said, I like the whole dysfunctional family and the fact that you really do see. Another thing that I really appreciated, that this is what I meant to say, is the relationship between Max and Omi, because you can tell that
Oh yeah.
he is very like educated in like her culture and being able to communicate and at least understand her in
Mm-hmm.
her language. And I thought it was interesting that you could actually hear um you know also her son, which is his dad, speak German, I guess German, I think.
Yeah, I think it was German. Yeah.
Like back and forth with his mom, like for like a slight segment of the movie
Mm-hmm.
when she was telling him like, "Hey, don't go out there," and all
Yeah,
that
and
stuff,
he's like,
like keep
oh,
the
like
fire burning,
yeah, like he
kind of
reassures her in
thing.
German, which I thought was really cool too. I like that how they kind of
Yeah,
keep their heritage alive that way.
yeah, and the relationship between her and Max, and also like um the relationship between him and his sister for like a slight second in the beginning of the movie. I thought that was really cool. Because you can tell that they were once close and now they're not, because of course she's older and that kind of thing.
She's got her man.
And the
He's
fact the aunt was super funny with her alcoholism, like always giving like the
jeez.
kids alcohol. She's like, "Hey, all right, but don't rat me out." And the
Yeah,
one cousin that would blankly stare like
that kid was hilarious
he was so
because like
funny.
that kid didn't say a single word. He just stares at you, and you're like, please stop. You're creepier than Krampus now.
Yeah, like I was like, bro, like you need to relax.
You
Like,
need to chill.
like, what was it? It's like what did you ask Santa this
And he's
year?
just like
Video
blank
games,
face.
a car, or like it's like dialysis.
Just like this blank
Oh
face, and he's
my
just like,
god.
like
Oh my
I'm half
god.
expecting him to drool or something.
Yeah, for sure. And also, what was it? Oh no, there's just a lot, and I really liked of course, the little attacks upon the family by the minions. Those are super hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
The gingerbread have to be my favorite because they're so funny and they're so
I love the
crazy.
gingerbread men. They're
And
awesome.
like the fact that the way that they would run around and like the gingerbread with the really candy cane trying to stab the uncle was super funny. So the cinematography was great, the animation was great, just the whole fire pit bullshit was
Mm-hmm.
amazing. But yeah, there's a lot to enjoy, especially like the snow scenes as well. Like that was like some really like heavy like settings that they had to
Mm-hmm.
go through that movie, and that was really appreciated to realize like how much winter Krampus comes, like how much winter traps them and causes power outage. Like this is like we actually see Krampus in his full potential in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, and yeah, going back to what you said earlier about Max and Omi's relationship, it was really wholesome. I really liked how Max and Omi or especially Max kind of related the most to his grandma. Like she was the one that like supported him and that kind of stuff. So I thought that
Even
was
though
really
he
nice
felt
too.
like his whole family was garbage.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah, but there really wasn't a whole lot I wouldn't say disliked. I didn't love about this movie because this movie was really good. Like there's not a whole lot wrong with it or like stuff that I didn't like. Um, there is one thing I think you were kind of thinking about this, but something's going on with Krampus's face, and it's
Yeah.
especially in the final scene where he shows up.
Okay, so I guess we're talking about things we disliked. Um, Things that I deeply disliked about this movie was definitely Krampus's design.
Okay.
Mind you, when I first watched this movie, I had no idea who this fucker was. I was just like, what in the actual fuck? But, I'm living for it. Evil Santa, let's go. So obviously, I expected it to be kind of like that, just whatever. Um, but with Krampus, I feel like he was more creepily humanized than he was like this demon
Then more
beast
demon. Okay.
be demon beast. I wasn't expecting him to be all covered in fur. I mean, we can, but it doesn't have to go that route. If they want
Mm-hmm.
to humanize him more, I feel like they could have made him a little bit more demon like Santa Claus,
Yeah, I
whatever.
think I think
Not
they
a
were
fan of the
doing it
horns either. The horns were
really.
a little too exaggerated. Like
Okay.
it looked like a whole ass circle. And I'm like, please, what the fuck? Like
See, I personally kind of liked a little bit of the human aspect of it, just because I think the reason they did it is just because of the actor, and
yeah,
because that way they could make it as practical and effect as possible instead of like a CGI Krampus.
that
'Cause, I
makes
mean, there
sense.
there's like some CGI Krampus just because of like what he does at one point in the movie where he jumps around buildings or like
Yeah.
the houses, so they had to kind of do it. But like when they do the close ups of the Krampus costume and everything, um, I like that it was all practical. It was little to no CGI at all, and it was a nice like built costume.
Yeah. I mean, I
Except for
did
the
like the fact that he looked huge and
hmm yeah, he
and
was
he
like
looked.
bulky. It looked like he had like a giant hump.
So I feel like with the hump, it just adds a whole like other like fairy tale aspect to it, which
Hmm
is I also enjoyed that as well, and I also did appreciate the fact that they decided to keep the hooves aspect.
Oh yeah, I like the
So
hooves.
at least I was like, okay, there's some, unnatural thing about him, which is great. That kind of thing, especially when they do the footprint thing and they're just like, what kind of animal, what kind of like deer, I think it was
It's
deer or
like a
something.
goat. So what kind of
A
goat stands on
goat
its hind
on my
legs?
legs. Yeah, I really like that. I thought it was interesting that they also decided hind legs instead of like just the practical front legs
Hmm
because, that's walking, you would think centaur bullshit, but
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly. Yeah,
But yeah, it's
the only thing I hated about Krampus's design is the fact that his mouth doesn't move. It's just like a constantly open mouth, and I'm like, Krampus, close that shit.
Like he just looks like some melted, like
Yeah.
very like a sleep, like a tired ass Santa. He's like, "All right, kid, you fucked up. Let's go."
Yeah, especially like in the final scene.
Yeah, the licking too was like,
Yeah, like that's when you get like, especially in the final scene, that's where you get like a nice good look at Krampus's face, and you're like, why? It just looks like he's wearing a mask, and like that's it. Like he cannot close his mouth, like it doesn't articulate, which I didn't
yeah,
like. Like I'm like, if you're having trouble with that, that's when I would have used a CGI to at least like make him a little bit more realistic that way.
for sure.
Uh,
So
yeah.
I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I deeply disliked about this movie is one thing. I mean, I get it because the writing was already cheesy within itself,
Mm-hmm.
but we know that Max was the cause of summoning Krampus. We know
Yes.
that. But in the movie, he pretends like none of it is his fault. Like
A
he's
little bit
like,
at first, yeah. At
yeah,
one point,
he's like,
yeah.
oh, like what was it? It wasn't the lights are out. He said something about something notifying his dad about something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no shit, Sherlock, you caused that shit. And then it's like, and even after Omni like told her story, he still acted like it wasn't his fault. Like,
Yeah.
bro,
Like I
what?
would have understood at first if it was just like, oh, I didn't know this, I didn't know I did this. But like when Omi
Yeah,
tells the story, he should have been like, oh shit, this is all my fault. But no, he's just like, oh no, Krampus.
he's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. The majority. Oh, now I know what the comment was. It's like, oh, my sister hasn't come back. We should go look for her. And I'm like, dumbass, you caused this. What? Like, like, kid, I don't think you're that stupid to realize. Like, the fact that they're taking your family to little by little, and after Omi tells her story, you still somehow don't think it's
Yeah, it does take him a
kid.
while. Like I think like when he actually like takes responsibility for it is when Krampus gives him the torn up letter.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
exactly.
damn, it took you this long?
Yeah, he was a little too oblivious. I feel like once a few, like maybe three family members to be disappeared, he would think he would take the hint. I was like, oh
Mm-hmm.
shit,
Like,
I
ooh,
caused this
this
shit.
is a weird.
It's like, I caused this.
Yeah.
I, whatever. But yeah, so either way, that's the only thing I do not like. Those two major things I do not like about this movie.
Okay.
But regardless, I look past it because I'm like, I know it's for the sake of the plot, whatever. Kids are dumb. We're all dumb. Like, kids do naughty things, and we don't like taking responsibilities for it. But yes,
Yeah.
I say responsibilities because it's a funnier way, and I always say it that way because I fucking hate adulting. But hi guys. But either way, um, the one thing that I do like how this whole plot comes together, which is like the ultimate like super like on this movie, is the way that the movie ends is that we do see the family and Max stuck for all eternity in an internal loop of Christmas. He's like, I just want the way Christmas the way it was, like I just want my family back.
Mm-hmm.
Krampus is like, bet, and just puts them all in a snow globe and for them to live Christmas forever. So, and
Funny
they're
enough,
just,
there's like
hmm?
a whole fan discussion about that where people think it could be one of two endings. So the first one
Okay.
is like the one that you mentioned where they're forever locked in Christmas mode
Yeah.
in the snow globe. The other one is that they actually got a happy ending. Like it all just went back to normal. They celebrated Christmas Day, and then the reason the snow globe shows up is because Krampus is using that to like watch over them, make sure that they're properly celebrating Christmas.
Interesting. That's an
But I
interesting
tend to go for
take.
that first ending. I think the first ending is better. Of like they're
The
trapped in the snow globe like that. They are still Krampus's victims because like he shows no mercy.
Yeah, the thing is like they feel off. If it was actually
Exactly.
a
Yeah. Like
happy
when I think it's
ending,
like when they play the Christmas music though, they all like stare at each other and they're just like you can tell that something's wrong.
yeah. like if it's a happy ending, they wouldn't have noticed that, they wouldn't have
Exactly.
noticed how off everything feels.
Yeah.
But
And funny enough,
yeah.
what's interesting too is though, the only one that doesn't come back is Omi.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. How have I watched this movie so many times and not realized Omi
Yeah.
was gone?
Everybody but Omi comes back. So I think that's why people like to say that um it is the happy ending, because Max is the only one that stood up to Krampus where Omi didn't.
He did though.
But she did, exactly. So I'm like, that kind of collapses on itself because she did.
Yeah,
She
because
still gets
she was
taken.
defending her family. She
Hmm.
was defending her family,
Like she
and like
sacrificed
Max does
herself.
the same thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't.
What the
I
fuck?
never figured out why. It's like, why exactly did Omi never come back? And I'm like, the Krampus like legit killed her, or did he just like decide not to give her a happy ending?
Yeah, because didn't she mention that he was gonna come back for her if
Yeah. So that might be why too, where he's just like, I'm getting my revenge on this.
time to pay your debt, bitch. It's like the Grim Reaper. I'm like, I'm here to collect your soul, my guy. Like,
Time to pay the piper.
pay the piper. Yeah, that's a good point. She doesn't come back.
Yeah.
I never realized that. I was like, oh shit, oh shit.
You know what was really
uh,
interesting too? The fact that I liked when she talked about her story, how it was like a CG animation thing. I thought that was really
I felt like
cool.
I was watching a Tim Burton movie. It was really
It felt like very Tim Burton, very Rankin and Bass. Like I like that little bit of it.
I need Tim Burton to actually make a Krampus movie. Thank you, Tim Burton.
Tim,
If you're listening, please.
Tim, make it happen. Tim, make it happen.
Timothy,
Get to writing.
Timorighty.
Tim
Yes,
writing.
Timorighty, please. But yes, that was super cool. Um, that's actually really interesting. I've watched that movie so many times,
Hmm.
and I never even realized Omi was gone.
Yeah.
Does no, you got me fucked up. Wait, there's hold on. Let me just.
I'm pretty sure she doesn't come back. Yeah, so actually a quick correction. We took a small break for a second, and Vanya looked it up, and Omi is definitely in that final scene, like front and center, and I'm like, whoops, I done fucked up.
Yeah, I was like, wait, no, you got me fucked up. Wait, why did she didn't come back?
So
And
you
then
look, so I love that you look it up, and she's like right smack dab in the middle of everybody, and I'm like, welp.
well, she's
Ooh.
not right smack dab. She's behind
But
the
like
family
you
behind
can
her
clearly
couch.
tell that she's there.
Yeah.
Like she is clearly in the family, and I'm like, whoops, I don't know where I got this from. I erased Omi from my mind and just said, nope, she's not there.
I was like, in my fan theory, it would be a lot more interesting if she wasn't there to
My
make
headcanon is
everybody
that Omi
question.
disappeared.
Omi disappeared.
Like I'm just gonna go in there and like After Effects and just like erase her.
Oh my god, if you're that talented, please. There's so much talent I could use to be erasing some shit. It'd be like that sometimes, though. It really do. But yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, after that. Anyway. Um
Anyways.
so the only other thing I didn't particularly love is there's a little bit of a pacing issue sometimes where just like the movie just grinds to a halt and like nothing happens for a little bit.
That's in the beginning of the movie, for sure.
Yeah.
I was
Definitely
just
in the
like,
beginning is a
yo,
slow start.
relax. Like Krampus doesn't show up until like an actual
Like
Krampus
45
happening doesn't
minutes, right?
until 45 minutes in or to an hour. Like that's when I started realizing, damn, they really grinded on this. Everybody's missing or everybody's going through some shit.
Yeah.
But that's it. Like
Yeah,
and
I
then
know
they're
that like
realizing we need to survive the storm.
yeah, like
Oh my
I know they were
god.
doing it on purpose to like really get you invested in the family's relationships and all that kind of stuff, but I feel like it took a little too long to get to the fun stuff.
Yeah.
But like outside of that, it was still good. I still really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I love that movie. I watch it
Yeah.
every year.
Ooh,
Smack that.
yeah.
Oh,
And I absolutely loved the creature design. Like all of Krampus's minions were so cool and creepy and like super well designed.
yeah, I like them all,
Yeah,
especially like I said, the gingerbread and also the Jack in the Box
yeah.
worm
But
character
we'll
was
get into more details on those in a sec too.
yes.
Yeah, but now that we've talked about the things we like, things we didn't particularly love, I think it's time for us to take our little break and go into our grave robbing facts. So we'll catch you in a
Yeah,
little bit.
sounds good. Hey everybody, welcome to the segment of Grave Robbing Facts where we talk about everything that goes behind the scenes and fun facts about the television, movie, or event that we are covering for each episode. So in this episode, we are going to be covering Krampus and all the different things that have gone to the making of this movie. Uh,
Yeah.
so, fact number one, it is that Max's mom alludes to the noodle incident that estranged the family from the neighboring one. The noodle incident was often referred to but never explained in the Calvin and Hobbes cartoon strip, and Krampus also leaves it unexplained.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought that was really funny. I'm like, out of all things, you like, they're gonna do a callback to Calvin and Hobbes, like a really fun cartoon strip, which I love. I don't know why, out of all things, Michael Dougherty was like, let's reference Calvin and Hobbes for no reason.
Yeah.
Like he might just be like a really big fan of Calvin and Hobbes or something.
Yeah. Don't blame him.
Yeah. But our second grave robbing fact, which I thought was really interesting, Omi is the only person to refer to Krampus by name. Like nobody else calls him Krampus except for Omi. Like everybody else just calls him like the monster, like the whatever's out there, like type of thing. So I thought that was
Yeah.
interesting.
That's
Of all
interesting.
people, Omi's like it's called Krampus, bitch.
Yeah, like I had to deal with this once in my country. Don't do this shit. So our fun fact number three is that the visible breath in the cold exteriors was actually done digitally, and a major component of it involving filming real people in freezers while reading dialogue for the scenes. Their breath was then isolated and added optically into the shots. So that's cool.
That
Uh,
was interesting.
Definitely beats tobacco smoke from Evil Dead.
Either the
We don't
tobacco smoke
want.
from Evil Dead or the one of the few god awful things in Social Network is the extremely obvious CGI breath in Social Network in like one of the scenes. So like
Yeah,
this I didn't even notice. Like it just looked like real, breathing,
yeah,
their actual breathing vapor. So I thought that was pretty cool.
yeah. Well done, well done.
Yes, good job CGI team.
Yes.
You did good. But moving on to our grave robbing fact number 4. So Omi was actually deaf in the first draft of the script, as opposed to like speaking German. But they switched it because of the cultural connection to Krampus. Since Krampus is of German and Austrian origin, they were like, why don't we just make Omi German instead of deaf?
Yeah, that would have made a lot of sense. I did see that in the beginning that she did seem like, she couldn't hear or anything, but
Mm-hmm.
if it's being traced back to a German and Austrian origin, then that's good. It is actually surprising when we hear Omi actually speak English to tell the story of Krampus,
Which I
but after
love.
that,
I
she,
love that scene with Aunt Dorothy when she's like, English. I knew it.
I knew it. Like, yeah. So I thought that was really cool, and the fact that Omi is such a lovable character. Like I felt genuinely bad for her throughout the entire thing. I'm like, damn, she's going through some trauma. Like that's it. Like she's really going through it. So
Yeah, I liked Aunt Dorothy. She was funny.
yeah. So our grave robbing fact number 5 is that in Max's letter to Santa Claus, his full name is Max Engel. The name Engel in German is the word for angel, and this hints at the family Austrian's origin. So yeah,
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 again, I like that little callback to like really emphasize the genealogy and like the family history behind everybody here.
yeah. I think
made
it's
it
only
feel
really like the Max and his mom, or his, yeah,
his
no,
dad.
no,
Yeah,
his dad, yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I like that they're like their heritage plays a pretty big part into the story of the film and the making of the film and that kind of stuff.
And
Uh,
I wish there was a lot more like German and Austrian stuff in their home, but that's about
mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah, I think that would really added more to like the heritage aspect of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At least like a couple of those German mugs, like they're
it's
those
like some
German
steins,
mugs. Some Steins. Yeah, I love
or even
those.
like a German flag somewhere.
German flag is a little too
Well, I
like
mean, like some
obviously.
people have like the posters to have like the German flag or like their German like the family seal or something like that.
I can see
Something like
that.
that. Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but anyway, our sixth grave robbing fact. In the movie, Max shares some candy from his Halloween stash to comfort his cousins. Inside, you can see a lollipop, identical to the one used as a weapon by the demonic child Sam from Michael Dougherty's Trick or Treat.
So cool. I've
I
never seen it. I
I
want to see
I
it.
now I need to go back and rewatch that scene to like catch it because I didn't catch it the first time either.
Yeah, I didn't catch it
So
either,
now
so
we
I'm
gotta find Sam's
definitely.
lollipop. I didn't know that was there. That's so cool.
Um,
I love when directors make those little callbacks to their other film to like their previous work.
yeah. And the fact that with Universal, like
Mm-hmm.
good shit.
Good soup.
Good soup. Big bomb. Anyway.
Fuck your
So
life,
fuck your life. Hey Joe, what do you want to say to Joe Biden? What's up, baby? Take me out to dinner.
Joe Byron.
Joe Byron. Anyway, our seventh grave robbing fact is at the beginning of the film, the TV in the kitchen is showing the news broadcast with the scrolling saying Season's Greeting. Season's Greeting was a 1996 animated short film directed by Michael Daughtry?
Doherty.
Dougherty? Which that introduced Sam and the demonic Halloween spirit from damn, that's butchering the name. Dorothy's called the classic Trick or Treat. Apparently, I can't speak today, guys. I can't speak. I can't spec. Yeah,
I cannot talk.
yeah, but it basically references the cartoon that which Sam first appeared from Trick or
Yeah,
Treat.
which is really
I
cool. Like, cause I had no idea that Sam came from a cartoon. I thought he just came from a comic book.
Yeah, me too.
So that was interesting. That was a fun little fact to find out.
I'm gonna go to YouTube now after that.
Oh yeah,
We
we gotta
should
look
have
at.
watched that YouTube video apparently with the actual phone call.
Oh yeah, about the killer we were talking about in Black Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to be traumatized still. Anyway.
But yeah. So our next grave robbing fact is one that actually made me laugh. So two of the gingerbread men are voiced by Seth Green and Justin Roiland. So Seth Green we know as he does a lot of work, voiceover work. He was in Austin Powers. He was Scotty, Dr. Evil's son. He's Chris on Family Guy. Like he does a bunch of stuff like that. Created Robot Chicken, which is a great show. I love Robot Chicken.
Yeah.
And then Justin Roiland is more of a current one. If you know your Adult Swim cartoons, he is the voice of Morty from Rick and Morty.
Oh man.
Oh jeez, man, I'm a
Oh
gingerbread.
geez. I'm a gingerbread.
Oh jeez, Rick, I'm like a gingerbread man.
How do you what's this? Oh man.
He's like Merry fucking
I think you're
Christmas,
pretty
Morty.
Merry fucking Christmas morning. No,
You're,
this is very
you're
terrible.
Ginger Morty.
Guys, don't cancel us. We're not the greatest voice actors. Don't cancel us, please. Our ninth grave robbing fact is the kid who plays Max, MJ Anthony, apparently flirted with every female who visited the set. He's a little player. Dorothy
I
revealed,
love that.
yeah.
This little kid just being like, "Hey, you come here
Yeah,
often?
you got
You
me out there.
you wanna meet Krampus?"
You want to meet Krampus? I
It's
could
like-
be a real naughty boy.
He's over there like, "What's up, baby? Let me take you out to dinner."
What do you want to say to Joe Biden right now?
What do you want to say to
What's up,
Krampus?
baby? What do you want to say to Krampus right now? What's up, baby? Take me out to dinner. It's like,
Yeah, but our last grave robbing fact. So the fake snow came from different sources, like in the exterior stuff, but the snow on the ground is actually made from diapers. So like I'm just imagining like these people just bought like a shit ton, like they went to like Costco or like Sam's Club and bought the bulk size diapers and just threw them all over the ground and be like, here, snow, boom, got it, done.
I can imagine them putting those diapers through a shredder. He's like, look,
Krampus brought
white
to you
stuff.
by Krampus brought to you by Pampers.
No!
You know, I'm just imagining Krampus like wearing little diapers.
Say that again, please.
Krampus brought to you by Pampers. or you could
put that on
say
Twitter.
or you could say Pampers presents Krampus in association with pull-up pictures.
Oh my god, you need to put that on Twitter.
Oh, I'm going to.
Please. Fucking losing it right now. Oh my god. It doesn't help that he comes after children. No! Canon. Absolute canon. Pampers, we have a campaign for you.
Pampers, do we have an idea for you?
Yeah.
Krampus 2.
And then I'm surprised the little kid. I don't think we even see that little kid in Pampers.
Like the sequel, this is Krampus 2, I'm a big kid now.
I'm a big I'm a big kid now. I hate everything. Alright, well that was our 10 grave robbing facts about the movie Krampus.
We'll catch you guys later.
Yeah, after we're done laughing.
And welcome back from our grave robbing fact. So we're gonna keep talking about Krampus here.
I still can't remember
it. But before the next thing I wanted to talk about is like the actual characters, like because I love that each character kind of had their own little quirk. Like the uncle, he was like the hardcore, Republican with like the Hummer and the guns and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I love how he's like, yeah, I got a shotgun in the trunk. You're like, oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and you can tell that he mostly wanted boys, but he
which
he
I
raised
love.
tomboy girls though.
Which I love in that little section where the girls are reading Max's Christmas list or like his Christmas letter, and they just like stop. It's like, Dad does not wish we were boys.
Fuck you, Max. Dad does not wish we were boys. I was like, damn.
Yeah, and of course we got to mention Aunt Dorothy because Aunt Dorothy stole the show every time she was on there.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm going to show the kids how to make peppermint schnapps.
It's like a little bit of something, a little bit of spice that makes everything nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what the first part was, but yeah,
like
she was like, she just like stirring it with a fucking candy cane.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wild. Baffling.
Baffling.
But I also did like the only thing that I didn't get to I wish I learned a little bit more about Max's sister. I feel like she was just in one scene and gone for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, she wasn't really in the movie a whole lot.
Yeah. And also like disappearing from like with her boyfriend and all that stuff. Like I mean not with her boyfriend. She went to look for him and then she got taken away, but
And then Krampus came and was like, nope.
It's like hormone. I am gonna keep your hormones in check, young lady.
It is Christmas season, not boning season.
I don't get paid enough to do this.
We don't get paid at all to do this.
Fair. Anyways.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, I did enjoy that the characters had their own little quirk too. With the of course the one quiet kid Howie that just did not say a single word, which I loved. Um, and I like that the mom was kind of like your typical mom that kind of like panics over the holidays and does not look forward to having the extended family over because they're kind of a mess.
Yeah. And you can tell that she's trying to keep it all together, but she's already frustrated with her
Mm-hmm.
marriage. Then the dad seems pretty down to earth. He just wishes
Oh
that, he
yeah,
could make things a little better for everybody and tolerable. And then he tries to like take the uncle shit, trying to be the good family man, you
yeah.
know.
I love that one scene where he like points the uncle points a shotgun at the dad. He's like, "I'm starting to like you. Don't ruin it."
Yeah. Or when the dad's like, "This is heavy," I'm like, "That's Dorothy's." Like, in other words, damn, you're a pussy. Like, if you think that's heavy with the gun, like,
Yeah.
well. But I think we should get into our favorite kills.
Oh yeah. Funny enough, I wouldn't say there's like kills. It's more like takings because like they don't really kill
Yeah,
anybody. They just like take them.
yeah, they do. They do
Yeah.
take them.
I would say my favorite one has to do with Jack in the Box, like the way he just swallows the one kid. You're like,
That
holy
shit
shit,
gross.
that was
I never
friggin'
realized
awesome.
that per kid that he eats, the bigger he gets.
Hmm.
Did you realize
At
that?
one point, he's just huge. He's like a giant like worm.
Yeah, because he first eats the sister, then he somehow eats someone else. I forgot who it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
He eats his sister, and I think he doesn't he eat at least one of the kids, like one of the girls.
yeah, but that's when he's already huge, though.
Yeah. I'm trying to think
But I
if
feel
he eats
like
anybody else.
I want to say he eats Howie.
No, because Howie's the one that gets taken up the chimney by the gingerbread man.
Yeah, but you don't know where he goes. You don't know where he
Really?
goes.
Well, no, yeah, because then they turn him into a snowman. Because that's when Max looks out the window, he sees the snowman that looks like Howie.
True.
Yeah, so I think they just he was just taken by the gingerbread men.
Damn. It'd be like that though.
It'd be like that sometimes.
It'd be like that sometimes. But either way, it's
That and I like the ones that were like the when they're outside in the snow, the creatures that were kind of like Bugs Bunny that just like you just see the mound approach them like underneath the snow, but you don't actually see any creature.
yeah.
I like those.
Yeah, I
That
like
was
the little
cool.
like skipping that they do. It's like
Yeah,
it's great. I was like, and Krampus kind of walks like that though. Kind of walks
a little
that
bit.
day.
He's got like a little groove to how he walks, a little hop.
Yeah, he's galloping his way to get these kids, man. I tell
Just
you,
galloping his way to victory.
galloping his way. I do like the gingerbread scene a lot, especially with the all the little, when they were fighting the uncle in the kitchen and all that stuff. My
Yeah.
favorite thing is I don't think the gingerbread win though because
No, cause
he did shoot him
he
shoot.
shot. Yeah, I think he blows up one of them. He shoots the second one, and then the dog eats the third one.
Yeah, I think it was a little cute
Mm-hmm.
moment. It was funny.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. Great.
I
I
love how
love it.
those things were like dangerous though, when they have like the nail gun and you start shooting at him with a nail gun,
Yeah, those are my
and
people.
they're going ham. They're just like yeah.
It's like they're like the little toy soldiers that just distract us like great. I love
Pretty
it.
much, yeah. Yeah, but
But
now that we're talking about that, we got to talk about creature design
yes,
because the creatures were so cool in this movie. Like the way they were designed and built and all that stuff was really cool.
they make he look huge and whimsical at the same time. Whimsically scary. Yeah, that's a word.
Yeah, because like my favorite creature in the whole movie was a Jack in the Box. I love the whole mouth that like opened up wider to swallow the kids and The fact that you could tell it was like half human because of like the way it moved its hands and stuff. It was literally a person with like the giant head to make the Jack in
Yeah,
the Box.
yeah, he kind of creepy, and the way it's slithered too.
Oh yeah, it was
Like,
weird as
and it
hell.
was fast too. It was like,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
for
I like that, and I really like the elves too. I like
yeah, the
their
elves are
creepy
nice.
masks and all that kind of stuff. They were cool. I like the design of that.
Yeah, they looked like festival, like creature festival masks. You know how in Puerto Rico we have like our little
Hmm.
creepy tribal, like I don't know, like our creature mask in a
Yeah,
sense. And then there's the elves, and it's crazy because like they're like so for being elves and they're supposed to be a lot tinier than Krampus. I mean they are, but they still look huge compared to
yeah.
them.
Yeah, but yeah, I thought their design was really cool with like all the tattered clothing, but then like the really creepy looking masks and stuff.
Yeah, they all look so happy for the taking. I really like the elves, and I also, again, like the digital characters, like the teddy bear too. The teddy
Hmm.
bear was fire.
The angel figurine was really funny too because it kind of reminded me of
Oh my
Tiffany.
god, so creepy! I hate. She was so creepy.
She kind of reminded me of like an evil like Christmas version of Tiffany from Chucky,
Yeah,
right? I don't know if it was like the look or the dress or something, but I was like, it kind of looks like Tiffany. Tiffany was
I
like
kind of.
pure evil.
Yeah, it was a little scary. Yeah, she was savage.
Oh
She
yeah,
had no mercy.
it was great.
Yeah, like it's just like can you imagine putting that shit on top of your tree and then that shit turns into that. You're like, I need
No,
to
no, no,
stop buying on
no.
Krampus.ink, just
Krampus
stop
Inc.
buying like that ink. Or like from the I need to stop buying these angels from Wish.
So last time I buy an angel from Wish.
Yeah. Leave a review. My angel attacked me.
My angel came to life and just started going ham on my face.
It's
Help.
like, madam, if you read this, tell my wife the password to my phone.
Tell my wife that I love her.
I love it. Yeah, she was creepy though. She
Oh
does
yeah.
look like Tiffany.
Yeah. That but yeah, I think outside of the Jack in the Box, I think the one that I found the most creepy was definitely the elves. Cuz like the way their masks were set up and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they look too happy, or they look too like I don't know tribal, but it
Yeah,
was nice.
they
So,
felt dangerous. Like they didn't
yeah.
feel goofy because they were smaller people or anything like that. They felt dangerous.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But that's how elves be. Those are my people.
people.
Gotta these small people gotta stick together.
Yeah. Um, but outside of that, I think we should give our final thoughts on good old Krampus,
Our little Uncle Krampus.
Uncle
Anyway,
Krampus.
Uncle Krampus. Anyway, so the final thoughts is that it is a great film, especially if you want to scare your children into having another side of, other than just getting coal.
Yeah.
Coal doesn't scare kids nowadays. Now they're all stuck in their iPads. I'm gonna get coal. Bet I'm gonna get a sugar daddy online, and they're gonna buy me shit. No.
No,
Tell them
now you
about
got Krampus to think about.
got Krampus to think about, the Tooth Fairy to think about, how universal, and everything else. Just tell them that a Austrian German man is going to take them away and beat them with a stick, like.
Jesus.
And he looks like the devil. I was like, "You want a sneak peek of hell? Make your kids go through that." Mm.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it is a fun and comedic movie for being a horror film, of course. Amazing work being done, and it feels like already like a holiday classic, at least to me, because I watch it every year.
Hmm.
Uh, Cinematography and graphic design, especially the CGI, really great for what it was worth, especially
Hmm.
with all like the fun elements and all that stuff. Um, but yeah, and the message is pretty straightforward and beautiful if Max wasn't so oblivious to his choices. But that's the only complaint I have about that. But it's good. It's good.
Yeah. So what would you give it out of 10?
I would give it a 8 out of 10.
8 out of
Even
10.
though,
So we should come up with like a system for it. Not like instead of just like 8 out of 10, we'll give it 8 out of 10 coffins.
we give it an 8 out of 10 because Krampus needs to look better and Max needs to stop fucking up. But it's still a feel good movie, even though it feels silly and
Yeah. It's
not really.
entertaining. That's the thing about it. It's really entertaining.
Yeah, just like a lot of people. I know a lot of people that they're not completely fond of Trick or Treat, but they say the same thing as you're saying about Krampus. It is a very entertaining movie. I like Trick or Treat because I do like the whole aspect of anthology and all being mixed together at the end. But it is entertaining, and Krampus feels just like that.
Yeah, it definitely feels like Krampus and Trick or Treat could be part of the same universe.
Oh yeah, just he comes a little visit. He's like, "Hey, Krampus, what's up?" Nah, I got these kids, and this kid started fucking up, and he wrote a letter. He tore it up, and then he says that he hates Christmas. Yeah, I'm about to fuck him and his family up. You want to join? I'll wear one of the elf costumes. Be right back. Sam just goes and changes.
That's your new headcanon. That one of the elves is actually Sam.
Oh yeah, do it.
Yeah, my thoughts on it are very, very much around the same as you. Very good movie, very entertaining, super well acted. There's a lot of talent there. The actors were a lot of fun with their chemistry as well. The story was fun. Again, there were some issues where I felt like it was just dragging a little bit too much. Some slow stuff. It took a while to really kind of get the plot going, but yeah, outside of that, it was really good. It was entertaining. The creatures, I think, were my favorite part of the whole thing. Just like the makeup effects and the creature design were cool.
Yeah.
So I would have to give this one the same score, an 8 out of 10, just because of the whole thing that you were just talking about with Krampus's not Krampus's design. God, you just mentioned something else. I forgot what it was.
It was definitely.
Because I enjoyed Krampus's design. Granted, like I said, I don't really know too much about the original lore version of the design. So
yeah, I hate it when they make him look like a legit gorilla / goat.
Gorilla.
I hate those versions of
Krampus is
when
straight
people
up
do that. I'm
gorilla.
like, well, yo, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, he ain't the Yeti. Relax. Like,
damn.
I wouldn't be surprised if people started confusing Krampus with the Wendigo. The fuck? It's like it's horned. He walks on his hoof. Anyway, sorry.
But yeah, this one I would also give an 8 out of 10. So like I said, we're gonna give it an 8 out of 10 coffins. Like that's our new unit of measurement.
Yeah, we're changing things and we're moving along. We're trying to make this podcast as interesting and not give you reviews and not try to be boring and then just give you all things. But yes.
But yeah, those are our thoughts on Krampus. If you haven't checked it out, I definitely recommend you do. It's a very fun Christmas horror movie. With a lot of heart. It's got heart and soul to it. It's got like a specific charm.
I agree too, and the fact that it's something for a adult family to enjoy. Especially if you guys like horror, and just it has a really nice message in the end. So
yeah,
kind of
in a little bit, yeah. But yeah, like I said, those were our thoughts on Krampus. So it's I think it's time for us to end it here. And of course, we're going to end it by talking about our social media and all that kind of stuff. So, Vania, where can we find you?
Hi, guys. So, my social media is Twitter and YouTube. You can find me under the name HH and Cultist. If you write Krampus Cultist, it's just going to come up as well on Twitter. It's just going to still be under the Twitter handle HH and Cultist. I cover anything from Universal Orlando events such as their holiday stuff going on right now and also Halloween Horror Nights. Merch things sometimes, but I haven't been to the parks all that lately. But I will try to, especially during the holiday season before it ends. and then I cover makeup, horror stuff, Halloween Horror Night stuff, and yeah, I haven't been updating a lot during the holiday season because it's been busy and crazy, and I don't think I will be dropping anything this holiday season, but we'll see if I can come up with any more surprises. I'm sorry in advance. I'm trying to be content creative, like motivated again, if that makes sense. It's just this holiday season is really draining the fuck out of me, and the podcast is the only thing that worth my energy right now. So, but I'm just giving it a little break, but I will be coming back strong in January if I don't drop anything for the Christmas season, for Halloween Horror Night speculation season, which is going to be for like 9 months until we actually get into Halloween Horror Nights again. So yeah, stuff like that.
Exactly.
But there's other people that are interesting in this podcast. So, Yussef, where can we find you? And of course, our podcast. But they can cover that.
So you can find me on Instagram at Yussef1220, and then you can also find me on Twitter at itbeyusef. That's usually where I'm most active. Where people, if you want to reach out to me there or like talk to me from there, it's usually where I'm most active and where I respond the quickest. But then outside of that, we have our podcast. We are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all that kind of stuff. We are Sounds from the Grave. So you can always look us up on there. And then for our podcast, if you're trying to figure out where to listen to us, we are on pretty much every type of platform, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, anything like that. We're on all those platforms, so you can find us pretty much anywhere. And we also have our email. I forgot to mention that in our last episode. It's soundsfromthegravepodcast@gmail.com. You can always send us an email on there. Let us know what you'd like us for us to talk about, or if you want to be on the podcast. We would definitely love to have more people on there. And then the last thing I wanted to mention, it's something I mentioned in our last episode as well, is the partnership that we now have with this lovely jewelry company called Ghost Jewels. They make these really cool occult designs with like pagan imagery and satanic imagery and all that kind of stuff. So if you're into that, definitely check them out on Instagram. That's just called Ghost Jewels. And what's really cool is because of our partnership with them, we actually have a promo code that you guys can use. So when you're checking out, use the promo code GraveSounds30 and you'll actually get 50% off your order, which is definitely very good because they have really good prices on there. So might as well save a little bit extra money on that as well, and get some really cool jewelry in the meantime.
Especially during the holiday season.
Yeah, it's a good gift.
Yeah, it's a good gift, especially for those people that really like jewelry and all that stuff.
Heck yeah. But yeah, that's really all we got for you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. Learned a little bit more about Krampus, because I sure did learn a little bit more about the legend of Krampus. Yeah, and we will catch you all.
Would you like to learn about our Lord and Savior Krampus?
Yes.
Pampers, sponsored by Krampus.
Pampers. Pampers by Krampus. Oh my god. I just realized something.
What?
They can make like a special Krampus edition Pampers that are like super cushioned, so like the kids don't, like, after they get hit with the reeds and everything, like when they sit down it doesn't hurt too much. So they got like a little extra cushion. You just got
beat up with a belt. Did you also fall on a branch? Did a big fat scary man in a fursuit hit you? We got the Pampers for your kid. When they misbehave, they're called Krampus Pampers. No, Birch Pampers.
Oh, no. Krampers.
Krampers. Shit. Krampers. No, I'm dead as fuck.
Now with extra cushioning, so your child will feel a little bit less hurt when they sit down.
Yep. No more whining, Krampus. No more crying. They will feel as if they were sleeping on a cloud after crying for hours and hours about the beating. Yeah.
Krampus.
Available now on Sounds from the Grave podcast. That will never happen. We need merch.
No. We need to commission somebody to make like a drawing or like a portrait of Krampus that we can make into a shirt. So yeah, we definitely gotta do that because that would be hilarious.
Yes. Anyway, we got distracted, guys.
Whoops.
Merry Krampus Notch, a late Krampus Notch, and
Yeah.
we will see you guys in the next episode for our
Alright.
next holiday movie.
Yeah. Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Bye.
Bye.